self-defeating. In 2023, Pew, a pollster, surveyed foreigners about their attitudes towards American soft power. 7 in 10 rated America the best or better than other rich countries on the quality of its universities and tech innovation. As it happens, foreign talent makes both more dynamic. At American universities, 70% of full-time graduate students in fields related to artificial intelligence are foreigners. Brainy immigrants who come to study science or engineering, as more than half of them do, often stay to launch a business. A quarter of American startups worth more than $1 billion had a foreign-born founder who arrived as a student. Perhaps the best known is Elon Musk. America welcomed a record number of international students in the year of Donald Trump's re-election. The decline since then will probably accelerate. The detention and deportation of some pro-Palestine student activists was unnerving, though judges have paused that. The bigger change has been to make visa processing more cumbersome. Consulates are now scouring applicants' social media profiles for anything they deem a threat. More consequentially, the government has proposed a rule that would limit foreign students to a 4-year stay unless they can secure an extension. Under the current regime, there is no such limit. Foreigners maintain their student status if they bounce between degrees. The cap will affect anyone in a PhD program, which takes about 6 years, and compel hundreds of thousands of students a year to request more time. Already there is a long backlog of such applications. The wait is more than 6 months. Of course, subjecting foreigners to hassle may well be the point. Marty Bennett, an industry consultant, says the uncertainty and frustration among foreign students is similar to the period after 9/11 and to when the pandemic hit. University bosses are feeling it, too, and not just because they are missing out on fees. They are also losing billions of dollars in government research funding. The Trump administration has cancelled grants for disfavored causes and institutions. Add in budget and staff cuts at government research agencies such as the National Institutes of Health, and the result is a brain drain. Springer Nature, which runs a jobs board for scientists, reported that the number of Americans applying to work abroad jumped by 32% year-on-year in the first 3 months of 2025. Inbound applications from foreigners fell by about a quarter. Innovation and entrepreneurship will suffer as a consequence of Mr. Trump's funding cuts and immigration restrictions. An even bigger hit to America's standing will come from the president's punitive approach to trade and diplomacy. In 10 of the 25 countries surveyed by Pew, the proportion of people who viewed China as the dominant economic power leapt between 2023 and 2025. Meanwhile, distrust of America is rising fast among even its closest allies. Since 2019, the share of Canadians naming their southern neighbor as their country's biggest threat has tripled to 3 in 5. Early in his second term, Donald Trump has profited from his previous appointments of Justices Amy Coney Barrett, Neil Gorsuch, and Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. With few exceptions, they and their 3 conservative colleagues have removed obstacles to Mr. Trump's plans imposed by lower courts, letting him ban transgender soldiers from the armed forces, gut the Department of Education, sack heads of federal agencies, rescind protections for more than 1M migrants and target suspected aliens based on race. But these judgments have come on the justice's emergency or shadow docket that produces only interim rulings. Several weighty questions are now returning to the justice's inbox as merits cases, the regular, slow-moving docket marked by several rounds of written briefs, oral argument, weeks or months of deliberation and full opinions announcing a final judgment. When rulings are issued in 2026, Mr. Trump will find plenty of reasons to cheer, and perhaps a few to jeer. The president's biggest wins will involve a favorite pastime going back to his star run on The Apprentice, removing personnel at will. Mr. Trump fired nearly 200 people as a TV personality over his 14 seasons on air. He has sacked tens of thousands in the first year of his second stint in the Oval Office, from inspectors general and military leaders to probationary employees, federal prosecutors and executive branch agency heads. In 2025, the Supreme Court provisionally blessed many of these dismissals in emergency orders. Those dismissals will probably be finalized in the coming year when the justices formally consider scrapping a New Deal-era precedent, Humphrey's Executive v. United States, that has, for 90 years, protected independent agency heads from arbitrary removal. Over dissent from the 3 Democratic appointees, the court's 6 conservatives all but abandoned Humphrey's executor in May. Its demise will be sealed in the spring. But Mr. Trump's sacking spree will probably hit a wall in his bid to fire Lisa Cook, a governor of the Federal Reserve. The Fed, the court wrote in 2025, is a uniquely structured, quasi-private entity with a distinct historical tradition, and the justices understand market turmoil may ensue if they permit the president to undermine the central bank's independence with a disingenuous for-cause firing. Although Mr. Trump's aggressive tariffs could roil the economy, the Supreme Court will probably back them early in 2026. Vulnerabilities in the challengers' claims were evident when the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals ruled against them in August. 4 judges, including 2 appointed by Barack Obama, would have upheld Mr. Trump's tariffs. Though a 1977 statute does not mention tariffs explicitly, the dissenters argued it authorizes presidential tariff adjustments through its grant of power to regulate importation. Expect the Supreme Court to defer to Mr. Trump's judgment that higher tariffs are necessary during threats to America's national security, foreign policy, or economy. After the oral argument in November 2025, expect the Supreme Court to defer to Mr. Trump's judgment that higher tariffs are necessary to address emergencies stemming from trade deficits and opioids. As for rulings that could go against the president, one of his more extravagant immigration policies, relying on the Alien Enemies Act, an 18th-century law, to whisk alleged gang members out of the country, could unravel if the issue returns on the merits docket. On birthright citizenship, after curbing nationwide injunctions in June, the court will probably uphold the 14th Amendment's guarantee of it against Mr. Trump's executive order. The court may also be inclined to stand up for states resisting Mr. Trump's delivery of National Guard troops, and for Congress's power of the purse over Mr. Trump's efforts to impound funds that have been duly appropriated. The usually ponderous court has done itself and the country no favors by ruling so swiftly and agreeably on the Trump administration's emergency petitions. Many of its orders have been accompanied by scant reasoning. Some justices have criticized lower courts for failing to heed its directions, prompting extraordinary rejoinders from some judges. With more time to reflect during the second year of Trump 2.0, the court has the chance to develop a more measured approach. But Mr. Trump's success on the emergency docket foretells more wins ahead.